Okay, so here's a
So
huge value add to my audience. You must have a process after you close a loan, like immediately you're going for the referral.
I took the Amazon model and low prices, simplicity, fast selection, fast delivery. And that's what consumers want. Consumers want certainty. They want peace of mind. They want to know that you got them taken care of. So I don't believe in chasing business. People
Yeah.
will come back to you if they are ready and they want something. I rather go out and even pay for new business. Than you got to focus your time on what's most important.
So, ladies and gentlemen, I have a special treat today. We have the number 18 mortgage broker in the entire United States, Brian Cooke from SunnyHill Financial. Brian, thanks so much for hopping on the show.
Thanks for having me. Excited to share a little bit about my story and my business.
Yeah, and that's always how I start this off. I'm always like, man, what is your origin story? Because most people, most loan officers or mortgage brokers, it's never their first job, is what I've realized. So it's like their second job or their third job or something like that. So what's your story? How'd you get into business?
Graduated back in 2001 in the Bay Area, right after the dot-com crash. There wasn't much opportunities. We were in a recession. My hometown of Burlingame had a job opportunity posting Provident Funding, known as the price leader in the wholesale channel. And it was my first offer accepted. I took it, made the most out of the position, started in the correspondent closed loan division, just reviewing files for like a year. I've always had a hustler's mentality. I learned it from my parents. My dad was a CEO of World Airways. My mom ran her own restaurant and catering business for inside Roche Pharmaceuticals in Palo Alto. She would leave the house at 4 a.m. and come back at 10 p.m. So I was just learned from my parents to just hustle. So in a salaried position, you don't get really paid for the amount of work you put forth, right? Your salary, you get
Right.
a bonus that's discretionary up to somebody else. So I was just hustling my ass off, working 16, 18-hour days, got a bonus of like 6,000 for a quarter, which not too bad. But when I looked at like underwriters and the loan officers are getting much more, it just like, what the heck am I doing? I need to get out of this and get into a position where I control my own destiny. So that's where I joined their retail department, customer retention department primarily. Stayed there for 16 years, just cranking out loans. It taught me how to originate at extremely high capacity. I averaged like 600 loans a year for like a decade, just cranking out loans.
That is unreal.
Providence, known as a price leader because they just know how to cut costs. They know how to be more efficient than any other industry. And I took a lot of what I learned from Provident, the efficiencies and the price factor, over to Movement. Movement Mortgage was there for 6 months.
Yeah.
Loved their culture, their marketing, their value of people. But rates weren't the greatest. The process was a little not efficient. That's when I directed my focus more into growth. Just became obsessed with growing. And I then got the courage to join my fellow coworkers who created Ethos Lending. A bunch of people from Provident created Ethos. They're not around. No, they're not around anymore, but I propped up a consumer direct division for them. In a matter of months, we got up to about 100 million a quarter.
Wow.
Through the consumer direct channel. And then that's where I met my business partner and current CEO of SunnyHill, Tyler Flora. And that's when we decided, let's just do this on our own, create a brokerage shop with the mission of just driving down costs for the consumer, delivering a high level of service, winning every deal. And we timed it right. That was the beginning of 2019, right when rates began to drop.
Yeah.
So I have some crazy stats if you want me to share.
I would love for you to share. One of the things that I noticed, because we're very into like, hey, after the refinance boom, right? People stop being order takers and it's all about relationship building. I noticed you're 80% purchase, 20% refi. Like that's super, super impressive.
Well, it wasn't always that way. In 2019, 20 and 21, I was complete opposite. 80 to 90% refi. I targeted my advertising towards, what brings the most revenue. Of course, refi is a lot easier. You can slam through a whole bunch of refi. So given the option, the consumer direct channel, you always take refi over purchases. You could always you can always get purchases when you want to. Just start advertising for purchases. So in 2019, I bought 720 leads, closed 280 of them.
Oh,
From those 720 leads, I generated about 316 referrals and closed 190 of them.
wow.
And then I just rode referrals and past clients from there. In 2020, I hang on, I get my stats up here. You can cut out this part. Okay. In 2020, I closed 460 repeat clients, generated 1,088 referrals, and closed 635. And then 2021 closed 399 repeat clients, generated 501 referrals, and closed 257 of them.
Wow. Okay, so here's a huge value add to my audience, right? What, like I'm sure that you have a system in place to get referrals, right? You must have a way you go about it, something that you say. Like, what is your process? You must have a process after you close a loan. Like, immediately you're going for the referral. You're obviously, I mean, it's very easy to say relationship building, but like, what tactical advice can you give people who want to systemize the loans they close and build out a referral pipeline?
You just be better, be faster, be cheaper. I took the Amazon model and I built my business off of Amazon. Low prices, simplicity, fast selection, or fast delivery. And that's what consumers want. Consumers want certainty. They want peace of mind. They want to know that you got them taken care of. So I'm just huge on speed to lead, speed to response. I'm just like instant. People call me, I'm a robot. You just got to be obsessed. You got to be obsessed with your response times and just being better than the rest. A lot of consumer direct consumers, this isn't their first rodeo. They've been through the process before, so they have that to compare to. I probably could have gotten a lot more referrals had I asked at more points in the process. So I did bring on I call her a executive concierge role to drive referrals, to drive more reviews, to do post-close 7-day call, 30-day call.
You just have somebody dedicated to that.
Yeah, and she helps with conditions for a little bit, but
right.
I still am involved in I'm still involved in the entire process.
Right.
I'm a machine at it, and it's just quicker for me to do it than it's just so easy these days to process loans,
right,
with the technology and advancements. So
how are you guys going about processing loans? Because when I was talking to guys like Tuan Nguyen, for example, what I noticed about his business is he processes loans, like he has an assembly line model where it's broken up into like 4 to 6 different parts. And he has a person dedicated to one part of it. And it's like an assembly. Like, what's your how are you getting through these so quickly?
I have one spreadsheet. My success is I keep it extremely simple through everything. I have one spreadsheet, 50 to 100 loans going at once. I can see everything on one document. I don't need to go flipping through screens, flipping through CRMs to look stuff up. If you know how to use Excel, there's nothing better than Excel. Right. I have 30 columns from just different points in the process. I use color codes. Me and my team sync up on different color codes. And so that's a huge part of my success. To grow past 20, 30 loans at once, you got to have a really dialed in process and data management system.
Right. What data management system do you use?
Excel. I use Django, or we use Django, but I don't use it that much. I mean, You need a CRM to fire off the automated,
of course, the automated
messages.
Sure.
I'm bringing on Verse, the AI powered follow-up.
Yeah.
So I'm signing up with them. So we'll see how that goes. But I think I lose a lot of business just from not having a follow-up system in place.
Yeah, that's important.
I don't believe in chasing business.
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
It's just not the greatest time versus return. People will come back to you if they are ready and they want something. I rather go out and even pay for new business than just kind of go chase crumbs. So you got to automate the follow-up. You got to focus your time on what's most important, and that's the point of sale. I do the entire point of sale. I do the intake, the review of documents, gathering the documents, submitting to underwriting. That's all me. I have a processor that does all the ordering outreach of title, insurance, VOEs.
Right.
But I'm still involved, and it's the best client experience dealing with me, one person, instant response. They don't have to wait. I know what's going on with their file at all times. So that's where service level drops off in like an assembly line model. But I'm trying to get to $1 billion for 2024. I set a goal for myself actually 1 year ago today to get to $1 billion, and I've just been pondering in my head for the last year, what the heck, how am I going to get there?
How many loan officers do you have?
Just me.
Just you. That's nuts.
I'm going to do $1 billion. Just me.
That is nuts.
I'm a workhorse.
Yeah, clearly you're clearly a workhorse, and you definitely deserve that throne that you were showing me earlier. Because that throne is so badass. You've been in the business 21 years.
Yeah.
What year did you break the top 50? Like what year? Because everybody, I have this saying, because I used to own a lead generation company, and I had a bunch of failed businesses before that. And, one thing that really rang true with me is, sometimes it takes 10 years to get to that 1 year that changes the rest of your life. Like where was that turning point for you where you're like, wow, I'm really doing it. Like I'm really, really like I've made it. I'm successful, at what point in your career? Because 20 years is a long time.
Well, I mean, like it said before, I've always had the hustle from my parents. I've excelled in everything I've done. I ran track and cross country at Berkeley. I've done the Boston Marathon twice. I've like a 2:46 PR. I'm built different. I have a ton of stamina. Back in 2003, when I just started doing loans, I just cranked. I was already doing a high volume, 40, 50 loans a month, but that was a more streamlined model. Leads are coming in at you. You just have to convert past clients. They're all probably past clients. 75% of them are. Yeah. Way easy. But then 2019 came over here to the broker channel, just had to start all over. And there's no better way to crank up and build volume than consumer direct. Right. Too many LOs are reliant on realtors, on third parties for the business. You have to control your destiny. And I think more and more people are going consumer direct. That's where we're going. We should be the drivers of the industry, not the other way around. Agreed. Realtors should line up to work for the best loan officers instead of us chasing them. Yeah, right now the realtors, like, I heard a funny story. The realtors like the pretty girl. All the loan officers are chasing them. I was talking to a loan officer the other day. He's like, oh, this wasn't the other day. This is like a year ago, actually. But it was a hilarious story that just spoke volumes about how the industry is. He goes, I went to this realtor's office to drop off a box of donuts. And when I get there, there's already 2 boxes of donuts there, right? From other LOs that are trying to schmooze this realtor. I'm like, well, you got to stop asking them to get a cup of coffee and lead with value. Like, what value can you give them, right? Every loan officer is going up to them and saying, oh, I have the fastest this, I do that. But everybody's saying that. So like, what tangible thing can you give them? Are you sharing your leads with them? Like what are you actually doing to give them value to where they reciprocate that back to you? Yeah, definitely. You have to bring business back to them. You have to help them win. It's all about winning. You got to, invest in realtors. I just started recently going into realtor relationships. That's just one. How do you go about getting a realtor relationship? Well, you deal with a realtor in every transaction, 2 realtors, right? Mostly with the buyer though. And that's why I hired my executive concierge to drive referrals, to have that conversation, to tee up the realtor to have an opportunity with me after the transaction closes. So we're doing that. Plus you can always use Zillow, do Zillow co-marketing to get your foot in the door with some, real estate firms. Help pay for their marketing expenses. But then creating a referral highway between other industry professionals, insurance, CPA, family will attorney, and during the process, asking your client, if they have those individuals,
Right.
and if they don't, then bring that up during the post-close call, so you can
Right.
then drive referrals to your partners.
Right. Yeah. I mean, as far as I think right now, like there's three ways to get leads, right? One is through friends and family, which is like not very scalable, right?
No.
The other one's through realtors, which again is not very scalable in my opinion, right? Realtors, a lot of them don't have any loyalty, right? All it's going to take is somebody else coming by, and they don't have loyalty to anybody. And then it's of course buying leads, right? Which is the quickest, most simple way to do it, but obviously there's some cost to it. I mean, what are you guys doing as far as lead generation goes?
You know how much I spend a month right now?
How much?
100,000
What do you spend it on?
bank rate.
Okay, great. Okay, so you're buying those leads from there.
Yeah, best highest quality. But
So what about those leads are high quality?
they're the most savvy consumer. It's the best rate. It's the best lead in the industry. It's always been that way.
Interesting.
But it's not easy to get on those rate tables. You have to be licensed in multiple states. You have to have
Right.
a high commitment. And I've doubled down. I've gone all in.
Yeah.
You're going to bet on one person, bet on you.
Right.
So going all in, and I think I could get to 500 million just through, probably I can get to $1 billion just through bank rate.
Yeah.
And that's why I've always loved consumer direct. You just eliminate all the other parties in the transaction. You don't need to really please a realtor, right? When you're realtor relationships, you have two consumers you need to please.
Right.
There's only so much time you can spend. So if you don't really have to please the realtor, please the consumer, have the consumer drive you all their friends and family,
right,
from every transaction. That's how I scaled in 2019. All those referrals that I got was just all past clients.
Right. So it sounds like, you kind of had to make a transition too at one point, just like many people did. When a couple of years ago, like, full transparency, I used to have a lead generation company in the mortgage industry. And, we started at the beginning of COVID during the refinance boom. And it was amazing because we scaled to about $500,000 a month in recurring revenue in under 11 months. And it was amazing, man. I thought I was like this big hot shot, right? I won the ClickFunnels Award. You see it behind me. And then the housing market took a turn for the worse, and people abruptly stopped buying our services. And what we found was we're dealing with a lot of people that were order takers instead of actual relationship builders. And you were telling me before, it's like, hey, I used to be all refi or mostly refi, and now it's the opposite. It's flop. So you have obviously adapted to the market, but a lot of loan officers haven't. 33% of loan officers are out of a job, right, since last year. So, I mean, what was that transition like for you? And what do you think are the factors that made you kind of rise to the top when other people were falling off?
It's mentality. I'm not going to be here talking to you how to close a mortgage. I can talk to you about my mentality, and that separates what Kobe Bryant, Tom Brady, and the best of the best is their mentality, the dedication to continue growing and investing in yourself, becoming a master of your craft.
Right.
We all are given the same amount of time every day, and finding a way to close as many loans as humanly possible in that amount of time has always been my focus, is becoming extremely efficient. I've been labeled the most efficient mortgage broker in America.
That's amazing.
I did over 1,000 production in 2020 just by myself. I had no processor.
Yeah, that's unreal. Like, you must literally not have time to eat food.
Didn't have time to take this. Yeah, no, I just love it. I just love our industry. This is a market where, as Matt Ishbia says, CEO of UWM, where winners win, and you're going to separate yourself from the rest.
Yeah.
And that's it. It's just, is your mind greater than your willpower?
Right.
To keep doing the things that you're supposed to be doing that no one else wants to do the hard work.
Right. And it seems like you have no problem doing the hard work. It's like a fun to you. Like for me, entrepreneurship, when people are like, man, because I've had failing businesses before, I've had tons of businesses, and they're like, well, how do you do it? I'm like, because it's like a game to me. Like it's just a game. It's a puzzle. Like I enjoy the game.
Yeah, it's a game of loans. I used to
Right.
play this game called EverQuest, like 24 hours, like
I've
marathon
heard of that.
raids. So
Yeah.
yeah, I've gamified my profession.
Right. That's all it is.
It's fantastic.
There's like this game
There's
called
nothing better than
RuneScape
this.
too. Yeah, there's a game called RuneScape. It's like you're leveling up your character, or you're just leveling up yourself in real life. Like that. That's what it comes. I'm a gamer, so
Yeah,
that's how I look at it. I look at it as a game.
yeah,
I enjoy high level problem solving. You know, and I think that's a huge key to it. Because as long as you, like, the way I look at it as an entrepreneur is, for me, I've always told myself, well, I can never lose if I don't stop playing the game, right? If I don't stop playing the game, then I can never lose. And I think you have some of that mentality as well, to where you're just like, it's like there's no other options. Like, you burn the ships. Like, this is what you're doing, and you're doing it at such an insane pace. I mean, I don't think anybody, right? At least the people who I've talked to so far have been single-handedly doing that many loans. Because it's one thing to do a lot of volume, and that's great, but doing those individual loans, I mean, that's tough. And it seems like you're not only doing it and enjoying it, but thriving and doing it very, very well.
I love it. This industry is incredible. I get a high out of every win.
Yeah.
I don't lose the price. Just stack the wins.
Yeah.
Keep stacking the wins. Just I'm huge on momentum and building, and you just got to keep going, and just the eighth wonder of the world, compound interest. Just let things compound and grow and grow. And I've been going at this hard and nonstop for 5 years now.
5 years. Yeah.
So it's a long battle. You got to think long term, not short term.
Right.
Celebrate the short wins. Just don't overthink things. Just what you need to do. Just execute. Go out and do it. Too many people overthink things. Just dwelling on what to do. That's part of my success. Is just I just crank.
Yeah.
You crank. You become a master. You know what you do. You know what you should deliver to a client. Deliver in a very efficient, streamlined way. And clients love that. They tell me all the time now, like, they love how, like, I sell them in like 3 minutes. Let's go. It takes other LOs like 30 minutes, an hour, doing all these stupid mortgage coach presentations. Like, it's just too much for the consumer. They don't need that stuff.
Right.
But if you don't have the best price in the industry, you have to steer the conversation away to sell other things to get that client to work with you. Everybody's like, oh, value. It's a freaking rate. It's a rate.
Right.
If I'm shopping for a mortgage, what I want the best damn rate.
I don't get why people don't think like that too. It's like, they'll sit at one company for 2 years and complain, instead of, it's like, just go to a company that has access to better better products. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And it seems like for some reason they're just like stuck there. I don't know why. It's just like, doesn't occur to them. It's like, it's not always about how good you are. Sometimes it's about the vehicle that you're in.
That's correct.
Right. And choosing the right vehicle is like probably more important than it'll probably have more of a positive impact on your career than your skill, in a lot of cases.
People are just complacent. I admit it. I was complacent. 14 years at Provident Funding, way too long. You're just cruising, right? And there's a point in your life, maybe an event that takes place where you just decide, like, enough is enough. Let me take a leap. And like I said, at some point in your life, you just need to bet in yourself. You need to look in the mirror and bet on you, and just go for it. We only have one life to live, and just go make it happen. Join the broker world, start your own brokerage. It's the best thing. Everybody should just start their own brokerage, find a couple good running mates, and just go for it.
Let's go.
Nothing to lose. If you fail, go back to what you're doing before.
Yeah, you can always go back to what you were doing before. 100%.
Yeah.
I'm gonna end it there. That's amazing. I love it. I think our audience definitely got a lot of value. And I think it was inspiring. I think a lot of people are gonna take a look in the mirror and say, well, what am I doing here? Maybe I should start my own thing.
So yeah, if anybody has questions on how to start a brokerage or want to join the broker world, I'm sharing my whole journey on Instagram. You can find me at BE Cooke, BECOOKE. I do a lot of posting. My whole journey's there.
Oh, that's amazing. I'm going to
2-3 months. A lot of videos, a lot of everything.
Awesome. Well, it's been a pleasure. I really, really appreciate you hopping on this. I hope we can stay in touch.
Yeah.
And I think this was awesome. This was a great show. So I really appreciate it, man.
My pleasure.
Awesome. I'll talk to you soon. All right. That was great. So another thing, what I usually do is I want to give you a gift. So funny story. You were talking about bank rate, and you hit the nail on the head. Like I said, I used to own a lead generation company, and basically what happened is after the refinance boom, happened, people abruptly stopped buying our services. I mean, we went from like 50 deals a month to 0. And, we were trying to kind of figure out like, all right, in order to solve my business problems, I had to solve your business problems, right? I had to solve the problem of the everyday loan officer. So we're figuring out like, how do we make lead gen affordable? How do we mitigate the risk for everybody? And, when we started talking to loan officers, one thing we realized was we couldn't find a loan officer who had stuck with a lead provider for more than 6 months. And we came to a few realizations. The first one is lead gen companies, and I know this from experience, lead gen companies only spend about 20% of the money you give them on generating new leads. So when you use a third-party service, your marketing dollars are diluted substantially. They have overhead costs that they have to pay for, right? The support, the VAs, right? The software, the tools, the insurance, the rent. It's expensive as hell to run a lead gen agency. And I know that from experience. So that means only 20% of your dollars are going directly into Facebook or Instagram, right? To generate you these leads.
Yeah.
Now, the other thing is this. Loan officers, so what they'll do is, when you hear a loan officer talking about a shitty lead gen service, they're like, oh, the lead quality is bad. The leads suck. The lead quality is bad, right? The problem with that state, so they go around looking for a better quality lead. And the problem with that statement is we have a law in place called the Fair Housing Act.
Yeah.
Right? The Fair Housing Act says that we can't target people by income, loan amount, or credit score, right? Those are the 3 most important factors when determining a good lead, right? So that means that all of these people are going around looking for better lead quality that doesn't exist because it's a crapshoot. Everybody gets the same quality lead. It doesn't matter if you're the best lead gen company in the world. Facebook doesn't care. It's a crapshoot, right? So if it's not about finding the best quality lead, then what is it about, right? Well, what is the game about? Well, it's about the same thing that every business has been about since the beginning of time. Business 101 is, how do we acquire new customers for the lowest cost possible, right? That's the name of the game.
Yeah, CAC.
Right. And the reason you pay lead gen companies is because most people don't know how to run their own ads. It's a very complicated thing, time-consuming thing that you just is like, all right, well, I'll pay somebody thousands of dollars to do this because it's a complex thing. So that's what we came up with. We're like, well, we used to say 2 things when I had my lead gen agency. We used to say, dude, if we could just take all of the money that they give us and put it directly into Facebook, directly into the lead source, they'd be millionaires. But we can't because we have these overhead costs, right? So what we did was we actually have a software that allows you to run proven mortgages. So what we do is we scour the internet for the best performing mortgage ads online, and we put them into a library for you into templates, okay? So if you wanted to run an ad, for example, you would simply go to ad management. You would click new campaign. You would select the mortgage folder. We also have real estate ads. You would select the mortgage folder. And right here is a library of proven ads. And we have like prerequisites for these, like they have to have a certain cost per lead. So like, for example, short form leads will cost anywhere from $3 a lead to $8, and long form will cost anywhere from $8 to $15, right? So you choose your ad, right? You enter your state that you're targeting, enter your daily budget, put in your website and click launch campaign. And you are literally up and running with proven Facebook ads in less than 5 clicks without even having to log into Facebook. So I truly believe that this software is going to revolutionize marketing in the mortgage industry, because now you're able to cut out the middleman and get your leads. Like if what we talked about with the Fair Housing Act is true, right? Which we know it's true, that you can't target by income, loan amount, and credit score. Well, then that means that it's all about volume. And if it's all about volume, getting your leads at wholesale cost is the absolute best that you can do, right? Because you're going to get the most bang for your buck. Now, instead of only 20% of your money going directly into generating your leads, you're going to have 95% of your marketing dollars going directly into generating you leads. And this software, when I started it, it's been spreading strictly by word of mouth. We're actually in the Nexa Mortgage Marketplace. We're the only lead product in there. And anyways, I wanted to, you're a business owner. You might benefit from this, you might not, but either way, I wanted to give it to you for free so you can use it at your own will. It seems like if you're a business owner and you want to bring your lead generation in-house, I think this would be a great option for you.
Do you have to run? You have a few minutes?
No, I have plenty of time.
Let me bring on my business partners. Let's see if they're available.
Sure. And tell me if you like this business model, because I know you're. I enjoy.
Can you send invites, or how do we send invites?
Yeah, of course. I could send an invite right now. And also, if they just go to www.callwithal.com, it'll bring them right into the room. I'll put it in the chat for you. Because right now I'm trying to send the invite, but it's not hitting. Invite. Or if you want to copy this invitation link, it's also over here. But yeah, if they go to the website callwithal.com, it'll bring them right in here. So my business model about this, Brian, was we're not running any ads or anything like that. But all of our business has just come from word of mouth, because what I do is I'll go to like a mortgage owner, and let's say if they have 1,000 loan officers, right? What I did was I started an affiliate program. So we charge $250 a month for the software. Now, what I say is, hey, look, let's say if you have 1,000 loan officers, I'll pay you $50 every single month for the entire lifetime of their service with us for everybody that you sign on. So if a loan officer has 1,000, or if a business owner has 1,000 loan officers, why wouldn't he work with us? It's like, hey, your loan officers are buying leads from lead gen services. They're buying marked up leads automatically because they're using a third-party service provider. Every lead gen company, we all use the same, we all know each other. We all run the same ads. So these, basically what we're doing is we're cutting out the middleman. We're empowering and encouraging your loan officers to invest their own marketing dollars into your company. Plus, you're going to be making $50,000 a month off the software that they're using, that they're paying very little amount of money for. It's the cheapest available option that they have. But number one, it's the most affordable, period. There's nothing cheaper. And number two, because it's the most affordable, the money that you spend on Facebook directly, you get so much more bang for your buck.
What's the average lead cost per?
Great question. So we show you how to get two types of leads: short form leads and long form leads. Short form leads are just name, phone number, email, right? Those can get as low as $3. They can get as high as $8. So you're probably seeing between $4 and $6 for the short form leads. For the long form leads, those can range anywhere from about $8 to $15. In California, sometimes it'll be a little bit more expensive. You might get in the high teens. Sometimes even $20 a lead for a long form lead in California, depending on where you are in California.
Yeah, I mean, what I like about Bankrate, man, I know Bankrate, the most expensive. I get every 2 people I talk to, I get 1 application.
Yeah, that's insane. That's high intent, right?
For me, it's time is money. I can't be spending 10 people to get 1 application. So I don't mind paying. I don't mind paying $500 per application.
Yeah, especially
if I can get. Last week I got I brought in 42 applications last week.
Nuts.
23 pre-approvals, 20 rate locks.
Yeah,
that right there is going to be about 400 million production.
No, Bankrate sounds awesome. They definitely do, based off what you're telling me.
It's just hard. Different. You got to run extremely lean. I run 0.75. I'm just winning every deal, like
Yeah.
0.75 margin and just cranking volume.
Yeah.
So that, like, for it to work for me, it just has to be high conversion, because
Sure.
I don't have the time to talk to 10 people to get one app and then
Yeah.
charge them
Look,
2 points.
yeah,
It's just a different
100%.
model.
And it's not a good fit for everybody. What I will say is obviously there's going to come a day when you're going to need to hire somebody, right? If you're going to want to grow, you're only one man who could do so many loans. So when you do start to bring people on board, I think that's where this tool will be extremely beneficial.
But it's good. I mean, if it's cheap,
it absolutely gets you the most bang for your buck. No lead generation company is going to be able to beat the amount of sheer volume, number of leads that you get. But again, you're not a volume driven guy as far as that your business model goes. But if, again, you'll get a ton of leads. And here's the thing, it's not just the ads and the leads. It has a built-in follow-up system. So you get two-way text messaging, you get email cadences that are all pre-built. You get a funnel that allows them to book appointments on your calendar on autopilot. I won the ClickFunnels award for the same funnel. So all that's embedded in the software. If you were to buy these things all separately, you could be paying $200 a month for text messaging alone, right? You could be paying for your website $200 a month for all that. So all that stuff's included in the software. It's built-in follow-up, follow-up email cadences, built-in follow-up text messaging. And it's the whole suite.
Yeah, I mean, we can check it out.
I'll give it, like I said, I'll give it to you for free. So what I'll do is everything comes with a 7-day free trial. So I'll give you the link to sign up. You sign up and then let me know once you sign up, and I'll cancel your subscription so you don't get actually charged before the 7-day trial is up.
So 7 days. Wait, what are we getting for free? We're getting.
So you could have it for free for life. I want you to use it. So it's you go to leadhackers.io/start. It's $250. But what I'm saying is you start out with a 7-day free trial. So if you sign up, you put your card down, it'll do a hold, but I'll cancel the transaction before the 7 days are up, and then you will not get any bill ever again. It's the subscription. So we'll cut.
And then we would just pay per lead.
You pay your own leads. Yeah, exactly. You would pay Facebook. It has nothing to do with us. And you'd also pay your phone bill, but you charge less than a penny a text message.
So a long form lead is probably your better converting lead.
Definitely higher intent. So what you get is your
what's conversion rate?
So we don't know. Look, we just started this in November. We have, if you go on YouTube and look up mortgage lead hackers, like I have a guy who spent $900 with us and got back $38,000. He closed he was the owner of the company though. So he was making more commissions on those loans.
Yeah.
But I mean, as far as conversion, I mean, obviously you're going to convert much differently than, Vanita, 75-year-old Vanita, who's doing loans for the first time. So that's always been a difficult question to answer, even, during our lead gen. But what I can say is, this will by far, especially in your case, if you don't have any overhead costs and you're just going directly to Facebook to buy these leads, you are by definition getting the best deal on leads that you possibly can, because lead gen companies are getting it from Facebook anyway.
Yeah, they're not always.
Not always, but
where they're getting their leads from.
Well, the not the $1 billion ones like Zillow, and they have their own entities, right? That bring them inbound leads. But your average lead gen companies, like for example, Good Vibe Squad, right? Those type of companies are all generating their leads on Facebook and Instagram.
I think my business partners are out. Yeah,
that's okay. Hey, listen, when you easily, there's a video there. When you go to that website, and I'll email it to you too, it's leadhackers.io/start. There's a 3-minute video that explains everything. So you could literally just show them that video and they'll be like, oh, I understand it. But yeah, anyways, my gift to you, you can use it if you want. You could, mess around, and you might as well mess around with it, put $500 in it, see what it gets you.
Sure.
If you need any help, it's not just the software. We also have live coaching calls every Tuesday and Thursday at 11 PST. So if you're stuck, you need any help setting anything up, shoot me an email, dude. I'll even go one-on-one with you and set it up for you. No problem. But the setup itself takes about 20 minutes. It's fun. It's just, you seem like a fluent guy as far as tech goes, being able to set it up. It's super easy. There's video walkthroughs that just walk you through the setup. So, and then of course, if you need any help, just shoot me an email, dude, and I'll hop on a Zoom with you.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate you, taking the call. I appreciate you hopping on this interview with me. So anything that I can do to help your business, let me know. And I'd be more than happy to.
When does the podcast go out?
So the podcast, so what I'm doing right now is I'm hoarding all my interviews together. And then I'm going to be making pre-videos to where I talk about the interview first, talk about, what was so cool about this specific interview. Right. So probably I would give me, to when they start coming out. And again, I'm going to drop them like once a week. I've done, I think you're number 4 or 5. So it's going to be at least 4 or 5 weeks. I'd like to get started by next month on the first one. Because again, I want to have it every week. I don't want to have weeks in between. But the other thing that I can do for you is I could cut up some of the videos, like cut them up and make them into TikToks or like Instagram reels.
Yeah.
Put the captions on there so you can leverage those for your own social media. I'll send them to you so you can post them yourself. They'll be yours forever.
Yeah. Or like what like 2 users posting the same thing, like collaborate.
Collaborate. Yeah, of course. Yeah, we're going to do that for sure. I have a big plan doing that. So I'll keep you updated and I'll let you know. But yeah, I'll give you that footage so you can obviously for yourself.
I have more and more LOs following my story, and my strategy is they hit me up pretty often. I get all their I'm going after all their out-of-state business. Most LOs are licensed only in one state. I'm licensed in 13 of the largest states in the
Of course you're going after there. You're a beast. No, that's amazing, man. Awesome. No, I seriously, I have a really a great respect for what you're doing, because it's not easy, and I know that. So it's so awesome to meet you, man. I really appreciate you hopping on this call with me, and I hope we can keep in touch. I hope that you get that software, and then you have some questions for me, and I can help you out.
Sounds good, man.
Awesome. We'll talk soon. Okay.
Thanks.
All right, bye-bye.